Hello everyone, it's BDR Kelson or Kelson64, your favorite moderator from the Gran Turismo subreddit. And this video is going to be a little preachy, and I apologize for that, so I'm going to try to keep it short. I will be starting the race soon. Basically, this video is in response to a video that was posted earlier this week by Irius, aka Rory Alexander, on his YouTube channel, where he detailed a letter that he wrote to Polyphony Digital regarding what he felt was wrong with this game. Now, the video that he posted and the letter he wrote is very, very good, eloquent, and hits the nail right on the head for him. But other people have other thoughts, and I'm one of them. One of the problems I have with Rory's thoughts, I guess, is that he's an A-plus driver, and he's always been an A-plus driver ever since I've been watching his YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to Irius or Rory Alexander is the channel name, I highly recommend it because the guy is great. He's a fantastic driver. You can learn a lot from him, not only about driving, but about sportsmanship. The guy is a true gentleman on the course, and it's very, very rare that you will see him lose his temper and do something that he shouldn't be doing. He always demonstrates good sportsmanship, and he's actually a very good goal to set as for how to play this game, and I wish more people would play the game like Rory did. Can't give him enough compliments and as far as that goes. But being an A-plus driver, and of course S and SR, he's in the top 1%, and he's not really in touch with what me and other people in the B and C lobbies go through every day. So that's why I'm doing this video, because he didn't really touch on the lack of the penalty system, and I wanted to touch on that as far as what I think that B-rated drivers and C-rated drivers would appreciate. Again, go look at his video and see what he talks about. All valid points. Do not get me wrong. I am not discounting what he said at all, but he kind of glossed over some of this stuff that I'm going to do. Now, here we go. Now, the first thing you'll notice, this is Trial Mountain Reverse, Daily Race B this week. I'm in the GTR, and we got 16 racers. I'm starting in 9th position. And this is obviously the first lap. Now, the first thing that you will notice here is that as we're heading into the first turn is that I'm going to take a very wide angle for this turn. The reason? Because this first turn is known for carnage. And the problem with the carnage on the first turn is that it absolutely is, well, it's kind of been called the Forza turn in some of the other videos and comments that I've seen. And if you ever played Forza Motorsport, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And basically, the problem, even on this first turn, is that you get wrecked, you get bumped, or you get outright just rammed at high speed, and the rammer does not get a penalty at all for what they're doing. And that's the biggest issue, I think, for B-rated drivers. Now here, I try to sneak my way through this, and if I had gotten through that, I probably wouldn't have had any more problems during the rest of this race. But I didn't make it. It was worth a shot. I knew I wasn't going to get a penalty because the penalty system was terrible. But I will say this. Okay, so if you look behind me now, in 11th is Buck Nasky, and well, he just fell to 12th. And then Absolute is in 11th. Now, I will say this. This is my first race with Buck Nasty. But I've had several races with Absolute, and he is absolutely, it's a combination of he's a dirty driver and he doesn't know how to drive. Basically, he will ram you every time he gets a chance, but then he'll pit himself into the wall on his own. He's awful. He's fat. I don't understand it. It's just mind-boggling watching this guy race. So anyway, and the reason I bring that up is that I'm sick of Absolute, and as you come to this area here, I am going to do something really nasty to him, and frankly, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm sick of dealing with the guy, and it actually has kind of a funny ending here, because he's going to try to exact his revenge on me but it doesn't really work out for him. So, okay, so that's that. Now I've taken care of Absolute, and we're going to figure this out. Now, here's Absolute again. There's a piece of wall jutting out there, and he runs right into it. And that's it. No more from Absolute. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. So now you have Jay Seward with a 5-second penalty in front of me. Now, I will say this about Jay Seward. Never had a problem with him. He's a clean racer. I've actually enjoyed racing against him. He's a lot faster than I am normally. I'm never in this position where I'm right behind him, very rarely. But I appreciate this guy. He's a good guy. Never had any problems with him. And as you can see, he's got a 5-second penalty, probably because he's sick of Absolute too. And we're going down this straight. You can see he pulls over properly instead of fighting me or trying to ram me off into the shadow realm, which is great. Now, let's talk about what happened with me and Absolute there, where I rammed him. The first thing you notice is I did not get a penalty whatsoever. That is a huge flaw in the game. No penalties for something like that, where obviously it was on purpose, totally intentional. I meant to take him out. I took him out and did not get penalized for it at all. Had I been able to maintain control of my car after hitting him, which I did a pretty good job of doing that, but not, 100%, I would have been able to hit him off the track and actually gain position. That should never, ever happen. And unfortunately, that is what is happening in this game right now, and everybody is taking advantage of it. Now, I try to pride myself on driving clean, and when you're getting bumped around like crazy in the first 2 laps of a race, you're gonna, eventually you're going to be like, why am I trying to race clean when nobody else is? Literally, I've had races where I've been smashed around by multiple drivers. It is kind of ridiculous. Now, watching the A+ lobbies where Irius is, that doesn't happen that much. And there is a lot of sportsmanship. If somebody unintentionally rams you, they're more than likely they're going to pull over to the side and let you by. But in B lobbies and C lobbies, that's not going to happen, and you're just going to have more carnage with less penalties. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out is this. Now, when I hit Absolute on that lap, I didn't hit him too hard, but I have seen, high speed rammers where you're hitting somebody at 100 miles an hour, or basically, and what happens then? Well, let's put it this way. We've all seen this happen. We've seen this happen in races or in videos or whatever. So let me ask you a question, which I will answer. I'll give you an answer to. When you're going 100 miles an hour and you hit a wall, what happens? Well, frankly, the answer is you get tire damage, engine damage, suspension damage, whatever. The result is that after you right yourself from hitting the wall, your car is slowed down. You're not able to get up to full speed for a little while. I don't know. I mean, your car does self-repair after a few seconds of driving. But all in all, if you hit a wall and you're going slow, you're going to not be able to maintain your position. It is kind of plain and simple, and it's obvious to me. But here's the thing. Most of the time, if you were to drive 100 miles an hour and hit another player, no damage to your car, nothing at all. So what's the difference between hitting a wall and another player? You're ramming another player at 100 miles an hour on purpose. You're not getting a penalty, and you're not getting any damage which slows you down. So, Polyphony Digital, listen. When somebody is doing this ramming and being dirty, then you've got to give them a penalty. Now, I understand that you wanted to take away the penalties on incidental contact. Incidental contact happens. That's racing. What's happening in these races now is not racing. You've got to give penalties for people intentionally ramming, bumping, and doing just dangerous stuff on the track. And you've got to give them damage if the speed and contact warrant the damage. there is no reason for no penalties and no damage, which allow these dirty drivers using these tactics to gain positions and cause you to lose positions. The other thing that it does is it has a snowball effect, and when you have a field of players, 16 players, where 6, 7, or even more are just bumping the snot out of each other, it has a snowball effect, and as the race goes on, more and more people are going to do it, or they're going to quit the race, and frankly, they're going to stop playing your game. If you're in the lobbies and you see how many players are in the lobbies and the diversity, I guess is the best way of putting it, between, I mean, I've been in races where I've had A plus A's, B's, and C's in the same race. Why is that happening? Because there's simply not enough players in the game to field a grid to start the race. It's as simple as that. So, look, Irius, great letter. I agree with everything you said on it, but this kind of stuff has to be addressed. And I actually believe it has to be addressed first, because the A-plus drivers, you are not in the norm. You are the top 1%. The rest of us, the majority of the players, are like me, that are wallowing in these wreckfest games. And it's not driving. It's not the real driving simulator by far, and it's not racing. So let's get this fixed. Let's get this fixed so people can come back to the game and enjoy it, and let the better drivers, the cleaner drivers, the ones that are showing sportsmanship, stand out. Because that's what's important. Clean racing should be faster than dirty racing. That's just my opinion. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know. Take care, guys.